Yes, good afternoon to everyone. Actually, this is my first time conducting this class, so I believe there are still some of you who do not know me. My name is Muhammad Firdaus. I'm currently an academic staff in International Islamic University Malaysia, one in Gombak actually, Gombak campus. So I've been teaching there for actually 5 years, plus minus. Cannot really recall. Plus minus, I guess so. Because I've been doing part time for for one semester, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And after that, I start as a full time. So currently, I'm also involved with what we call it several dakwah activities by NGOs, and currently also I'm involved with Brainy Islamic Montessori, and I found out that it's very interesting. I mean, the programs conducted by Brainy. So I'm hoping that I can actually contribute something. But if I do something wrong, I mean, I'm very open for criticism and also suggestion from people, because after all, we are all human and we subject to mistake and errors. Yeah, it is very normal. All right. Okay. So I was informed earlier by Ustaz that what we call it last week, you had class with her, right? So I'm supposed to actually continue the discussion. So the part given to me is actually the religion of Islam. Okay, actually the meaning of the word Islam itself. Okay, because as we know, this one of the what we call it special features of Islam, of this religion, is basically the name of this religion Islam is not quoted from, or it's not adapted from basically the name of the ethnicity. For example, this religion is not called Malay religion, okay, because we know that Malays are basically the majority Muslim in Malaysia, but somehow this religion is not named after them. Okay, and surprisingly also, although we know that Prophet Muhammad SAW was the one who actually brought the message of Islam to the world, although he is not the first, he was not the first prophet, but he was the last one. But still, this religion, did not adapt his name to become the name of this religion. But this religion has a very specific name. It is called Islam. Yeah, and in the Quran, which is the book, the revelation from Allah given to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, even Allah also mentioned the word Islam in the Quran. Okay, as stated in the Quran, in Allah in Islam, the only religion accepted in the eyes or in the sight of Allah is Islam. Yeah. So this one of the specialties of the religion is by the name itself. Okay. If we look at other religion, for example, many of the other religion, although there are a lot of controversies going on regarding this fact, but I'm going to explain in general. Okay, for example, when we look at the word Christianity itself, okay, it is adapted from the word Jesus Christ. Okay, and Christ basically means the anointed one. Okay, in Arabic it's called Al-Masih. Okay, which also means the anointed one. And also when we look at Buddhism, for example, was adapted from the founder, the name of the founder, Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. Yeah, and also when we look at Sikhism, for example, was adapted from the name of the people, the Sikh people they call themselves, and also and Hinduism also, yeah, actually adapted from the name of the people, the Hindu. Okay, or some people say that actually adapted from the name of the river, which is the Indus River during that time. Okay, so people who live nearby the Indus River, they are called the Hindu in Persian language. So that's why the religion became Hinduism. But the general fact is that the names of this religion are adapted from something. Okay, either from the founder, or from the name of the place, or from the name of the people. But Islam is very special because the name stand by itself. Okay, and if we look at, for example, from the linguistic point of view, regarding Islam, Islam is actually the derivation from the word aslama in Arabic. Okay, alif sin lam mim aslama. Okay, which actually literally means as submission and also surrender. So whenever we speak about Islam in general, okay, those who are who want to subscribe themselves to the religion of Islam, the first thing that they have to do is they have to submit themselves, or they have to surrender their will to the will of Allah. So that is basically the first thing a Muslim should do, right? And in fact, if we look at, for example, in the Quran, whenever Allah mentioned about the purpose of the creation of human being, okay, and we know Allah is the creator, the only creator. So Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Okay, Allah mentioned, I have not created the genie okay, which refers to the unseen world basically, and also the human being, illa liya'budun, except to worship me. Yeah, so basically the word worship, it defines our relationship to Allah. So basically Allah is our master and we are supposed to be the servant. So or the slave to be exact. Because servant get paid, but we don't get paid. But we submit ourselves to Allah simply because Allah gives us so many things. Okay, but it is not in the form of payment, right? It is in the form of favor. So if you look at the definition of slave, for example, I always tell this definition to the people, to my student particularly, because I speak to them every day. So I said, if let's say, for example, we create actually, or we invented one time machine and we go back to the ancient Egypt time, in which there are a lot of slaves during that time, right? So we actually meet one slave and we ask a few questions to the slave. Let's say, for example, we meet one slave by the name Abdullah, for example. So we said, Abdullah, as a slave, what do you do? So, one of the simplest answers is that, as a slave, I do what my master asks me to do. Okay? So if we as Muslims, declare or acknowledge ourselves as the slave of Allah, and we declare that Allah is our master, so if we were to ask by someone, as a slave of Allah, what do you do? So the answer is actually quite simple. Yeah, the answer is simple, but the application part is actually quite difficult. The answer is very simple. I do what Allah asks me or allows me to do. It's actually very simple. Yeah, the same thing if you ask him the slave, as a slave, what do you eat, for example? Okay, so the slave will say, I eat what my master allows me to eat. So when do you eat? I eat when I'm allowed to eat, again by the master. Okay, so that's how we actually define our life in Islam. Okay, so as Muslim, we are the slave of God, so therefore our life is actually arranged and managed by the will of God. We do what Allah allows us and asks us to do. So we obey the commandment. Okay, so if we actually fail to do this, I'm sorry to inform you, or I'm sorry to inform everybody, who are actually, I can say, as stubborn in terms of the submission. Those people are not good Muslims, because they don't actually surrender themselves totally to God. Okay, and whenever it comes to the submission in Islam, yeah, Allah mentioned in Quran, "Udkhulu fi silmi kafa." If you want to embrace Islam, you are supposed to embrace Islam totally. Islam, what we call it is supposed to be a holistic submission. You cannot just, for example, say, okay, I accept this part of Islam, but I reject the other part of Islam. Okay, I always say to my students, whenever it comes to akidah of Islam, for example, when we speak about iman, which actually related to our belief, we need to believe in Allah, we need to believe in angels, and so on, the 6 pillars of iman. Simple mathematical equation cannot be applied. If 6 minus 1 in mathematics is equal to 5, then in our akidah, 6 minus 1 is equal to 0. Simple mathematical equation cannot be applied here. Yeah, as simple as that. Because in Islam, it is either you follow as holistically, or either you leave. Okay, you cannot just say that, okay, I follow some and I reject some. It is not accepted. Even whenever it comes to Prophet, for example, now Allah mentioned also in the Quran, "La nufarriqu baina ahadin min rusuli." Whenever you say I believe in Prophet, for example, there are 25 prophets, who are basically obligatory, compulsory for us to believe. So this prophet, you must accept all. You cannot differentiate between this prophet. You cannot basically say, okay, I believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but I reject Musa alaihi salam, for example. You cannot say that. This is basically what happened to the Jewish people, to the Bani Israel. To the people in the land of Palestine, in the land of Israel nowadays. Okay, some of these people, they accept some prophet. In fact, if you look at, for example, the name of the Bible. Yes, some of the name of the Bible is actually adapted from the name of the Prophet. For example, the book of Solomon, they call it. Yeah, and then they have what they believe also in David, which refers to Daud alayhi salam. They also believe in Moses. In fact, they call Torah the book of Moses. Yeah, and they also accept Ezekiel, for example. Habakkuk, for example, Zechariah, okay, which refers to Zachariah. They also accept John the Baptist, for example, which refers to Yahya alayhi salam. So they accept some prophet, okay, but they also reject other prophet, which come basically from the lineage of Hajar. If you look at, for example, the genealogy of Ibrahim alaihissalam. Yeah, because these people they believe in Ibrahim, but they also believe that Ibrahim was married to two wives. Yeah, the first wife is called Sarah, the second wife was Hajar. So these people just accept the prophet from the line of Sarah because Sarah was a Jew. Yeah, so they accept only the Jewish prophet, the so-called Jewish prophet. Yeah, but they reject the prophet.